Shit. Yes, it would be best if we hurry. They should be at their limit. Should also be at their limit. Detective Gumshoe, I'm counting on you. Leave it to me, sir. This may be an unofficial investigation, but I'll call in all of my pals from the station to help. I'll help too. Stealing John back is my job after all. I'll be returning to the courtroom. I might be able to draw out some more time. Okay. Well then, even in the depths of night... the clock just struck 2. We have to hurry. Yes, sir. Ah, my introductions! With no other birthday takes life. Oh, that's great. No, I just love the fact that she starts running and then just does the rest. Courtroom number 3. They're right at the end of it now. Oh, there's Blaze! Well, if it isn't former Prosecutor Edgeworth. Blaze the best. Witness, face forward. We're not done talking yet. Like I said, you see, why exactly would I have needed to help that person out, Your Honour? You know, it's a crying shame. Having a beautiful woman declared guilty. Honestly, it brings tears to my eyes. Wait, he's got his beard back. You burnt all of it off before. But you see, there's no reason for me to go out of my way to hide evidence just to save her. However, we still have the testimony of your son, Prosecutor Best. He testified that he handed the evidence over to you. Well, I haven't the slightest clue what he was talking about. I simply can't imagine why Sebastian would have said something like that, you know? It was him that kept saying, you know and you see, I think. In which case, it definitely isn't him. So maybe there's somebody else that also says you know and you see a lot. What if there is evidence that shows your connection with Warden Roland? And just what do you think you're doing, former Prosecutor Edgeworth? I was under the impression that you were no longer in any position to stand in court. Miles Edgeworth, how dare you barge into my prosecutor's bench? Franziska, I'm sorry. I need you to lend me the bench for a little while. What are you saying? Judge Courtney, I brought vital evidence related to this case. Your Honour, please allow me to testify. She'd never allow it. Courtney Pye, Uncle Ray also asked that he be allowed to testify. There are no objections from the prosecution either, right? Understood. The prosecution also has no objections. There's no way you can allow something like this, you know? Such high-handed methods. Surely are enough to warrant being held in contempt of court, wouldn't you say, Courtney? As long as John is still in danger, Judge Courtney cannot rule against the Warden. I must convey to her somehow that the search for her son is progressing. Judge Courtney, I ask that you have faith in me and my assistant. Now that you mention it, where exactly is she? She is currently out searching for the most important piece of evidence. Ah, okay. It's a waste of time, there's no such evidence. Are you stalling for time? How disgraceful! Most important piece of evidence? Huh. Courtney Pye? I don't really know what that evidence is, but I think we should have faith in her. After all, even if she may not look like it, she's still the great thief Yatagarasu. Somehow it seems that Mr. Shields understands. Judge Courtney, we've already determined the general location of that evidence. It's only a matter of time before she steals the evidence back. Okay. I understand. Then I shall give you special permission to testify. Thank you, Your Honour. This is ridiculous. This vital evidence that you have found, please present it to the court. Blaze DeBest and Patricia Rowland are somehow connected. Allow me to present the evidence that proves it. Oh man, this is like simplified court proceeding. Which piece of evidence shows the relationship between Patricia Rowland and Blaze DeBest? It's the report. Yeah, the report on Knightley. So this document contains a detailed report regarding the interrogation of a certain man. A certain man? That man being the late Horace Knightley. And the one who interrogated him was the defendant in this trial, Patricia Rowland. So that means that was the interrogation where... That's right. Patricia Rowland murdered Knightley in the aftermath of the interrogation. And that very interrogation has been recorded in this written report. That definitely sounds like vital evidence. But, Miles Edgeworth, just now you referred to that document as a written report. Now just who in the world was that report written for? I thought you might ask that, Franziska. And that's precisely what is most important about this report. We found this document inside the safe in the storeroom on the 51st floor of the Grand Tower. The 51st floor. The storeroom for the black market auction. Indeed. And the conductor of the auction was you, Blaze de Best. You received a report about the victim from Warden Rowland. In the face of this evidence, can you still say you have no connection to this case? In regards to that, I refuse to answer. What? It has yet to be proven in court that I was the conductor of the black market auction. Oh, have you already forgotten the events of this morning? I believe I had already proved it back then, did I not? I will not deny that I was bested by you, however, that was at the crime scene. Who knows if the results will be the same in court? An acquittal is still possible, you see. Until it's been proven in court that I am the conductor of the black market auctions, you can't prove that document was addressed to me. Your logic is twisted. That's not very nice, you know. My logic isn't twisted, is it? Courtney? Don't you feel the same way? It was quite unlike you to allow former Prosecutor Edgeworth's statement just now, you know? It saddens me, you see, that you would fail to uphold the law as a judge should. In fact, I'm so upset by this, I may have no other choice but to use my last resort, you know? Oh dear. It is as you say. Something that has not been proven in court does not merit any deliberation. I will have to overrule Mr. Edgeworth's claim. Fuck. As I thought, until John has been rescued. You see, the truth at the scene and the truth in the courtroom are two very different things. So you're saying the truth can be distorted in court as long as it's for your sake? What a horrible thing to say. I'm not distorting the truth or anything like that, you know? If a not guilty verdict is handed down, then that becomes the truth. That's all it is, you see? It's useless. There's nothing we can do unless the missing evidence turns up. Now then, Courtney, why don't you deliver a not guilty verdict and let's get this over with? After all, that evidence isn't gonna show up anytime soon, you know? Sebastian! Who raised an objection just now? Ooh! Pops! Sebastian? Why did you come back here, now of all times? Sebastian, what is the meaning of this? Just where were you, and what have you been doing since you abandoned your own trial? I'm sorry, I was, such an act is unbecoming of a prosecutor, you should be ashamed. Well... Sebastian, I still don't get it, you know? This court has no place for a snivelling child such as yourself. Pops, Wait. I've come to present new evidence, Your Honor. So, please, let me take my place back at the prosecutor's bench. Sebastian! I didn't think he would come back. Fucking Jesus. What's all this now, Sebastian? You don't seem at all like your normal self. Ugh, Pops. Come now, what's the matter? You want Daddy to play with you? Is that it? Well then, why don't we just head on back home? Return to the witness stand. What's wrong? You're shaking like a leaf. Your Honor, the prosecutor officially in charge of this case has just arrived with new evidence. The trial is still in session. In light of this, shouldn't we continue with the proceedings? It's like a fucking seal. Naturally, the defense has no objections, Your Honor. I'm sure the defense attorney originally in charge would say the same. The prosecution has no objections either, Your Honor. I like the music. Continue with the proceedings. That won't be necessary. Isn't that right, Courtney? I still believes that he was the one who kidnapped John. As long as John still hasn't been found, Judge Courtney will remain bound by Blaze, and nothing else will change that. Oh dear. Objection? Oh, it's the phone. Courtney's phone. That sound is... her cell phone. My phone as well? Eh? Uncle Ray's phone is also. What the fuck? Mr. Edgeworth! Mr. Shields! Oh. Hey! Oh, and John was calling Courtney. We found John, sir. We rescued John. Excellent work, Detective. That kid was the most important piece of evidence, right? Way to go, Kay. I wanted to spread the word quickly, so I had everyone call. Alright. Judge Courtney, it's for you. Yes, I see. I'm so glad you're safe. Make sure you properly thank everyone, okay? Be careful, and come home safe. Aww. And now... perfect. Let us resume the proceedings. Now that I may once again swing my gavel to my heart's content. Huh. You're kidding, right? This is just a sad joke, you know? Oh my god, this goes on forever. Witness, this is no joke. Please return to the stand. Prosecutor the best as well. Promptly return to your seat at the prosecutor's bench. Yes, Your Honor. Hey! Side by side. With Sebastian. There's 3 of us now. Jesus. Sebastian the best. Yes, Miss Von Karma? I'll leave the rest to you. Huh? Going up against your own father. It won't be easy. I shall observe how things pan out. From the gallery. Aww. Wow. Franziska's matured. Now then, allow me to ask once more. Is the prosecution ready? Prosecutor the best. What is this new evidence you wish to present? The missing knife and chisel, Your Honor. You mean they've finally been found? Holy shit. Prosecutor the best, is this true? The knife and chisel? Oh, I wasn't able to find them. I searched and searched, I really did, but it was already too late. Too late? What do you mean? I remembered. This morning when I passed by Pops in the garage at home. He was holding something wrapped in a newspaper. Pops, where are you going? Ah, Sebastian. Just taking out some trash. At that moment I heard it. The faint sound of a bell. Could that sound have been by any chance the bell attached to Dogan's chisel? In other words, you're saying that the witness threw away the evidence. I searched for it, but I didn't make it in time. I'm sorry. Where exactly did you search for it? The garbage dump. Oh wow. I went to the garbage dump and searched everywhere. I thought the evidence Pops threw away had to be there. Isn't that Sebastian? What are you doing here? Whoa! He ignored us. So at that time he had gone to the garbage dump. But... this was all I could find. It smells rather peculiar. Now that you mention it, there's kind of a funky smell coming from you as well. What do you expect? I was digging through garbage. Well, what of the knife? I think it's buried somewhere in that giant mountain of trash. I couldn't find it by myself. I understand. I shall accept this into evidence. Well done, Sebastian. You never betray my expectations, you know? You searched so desperately through the garbage, and that's all you have to show for it. Oh, what a tearjerker. I'm tearing up already. It's a bit too early for tears, don't you think? We haven't examined the evidence properly yet. I think it's just a pointless waste of time, you know? I'm counting on you, Sebastian. Miles. Show him the truth. Can be exposed in court and take him down. Mr. Shields is backing us up. Now all we need is a breakthrough. Prosecutor to best, let's take a closer look at the evidence. Right. Oh, this is cool. Yeah, side by side. Let's have a look inside. It'd be great if we could find some kind of proof. This is the bell that was attached to Dogen's chisel. Are there any traces left behind on it? Ah, it's no good. There's not even a single smudge on it. What did you find, Prosecutor to best? Did you even find anything? Darn it. Of course you'd find nothing. Something like that can't be called evidence, you know? All it is trash. It may be sad, but that's the truth, you see. Were Sebastian's efforts all for naught? Indeed, this bell does not seem to be valid evidence. However... Mr. Edgeworth, are you really giving up? Calm as always, Edgeworth. Quite unlike Sebastian there. Well then, is the prosecution finished with its argument? Justine, not yet. We're not through yet. There's still something we haven't examined. You're still not giving up? Struggling in vain's not cute at all, you know. It seems Sebastian hasn't given up yet either. We're just thinking the exact same thing. The last item remaining... Is it trash or is it evidence? If we don't examine it, we'll never find out. The item I'm thinking of is... the newspaper. We're still not done examining the newspaper that the bell was wrapped up in, or wrapped in. It seems that Sebastian has the same idea as I do. Wow, this is just wonderful, you know? So wonderful it's to cry for. Is it desperation or simply reckless abandon? Are you really going to pin all your hopes on a worthless scrap of newspaper? Huh, we won't know for sure whether or not it's worthless until we examine it, will we? Sebastian, let's examine it post-haste. Wait, we're examining it again? Okay. Oh! Of course. A massive handprint, and it says death. The gloves. Is this a handprint? There's something greasy on here too. Is it oil? Judge Courtney, we'd like to request a fingerprint analysis on this paper. Would you please summon someone from forensics? Your request is accepted. Contact the lab at once. Reporting. These are definitely fingerprints. However, it's from a glove. What? Yeah, we knew this. It's fairly obvious. Didn't I tell you? It's nothing but a worthless scrap of paper. Just think about it, you know, when handling important evidence. What kind of idiot wouldn't use gloves? Oh wait, wouldn't that be you? The idiot who doesn't know when to give up. It's pretty harsh, talking to your son like that. What's wrong with calling an idiot an idiot? If you want to be the best, you have to be heartless. I have no compassion for worthless individuals, not even my own son. Pops, You know, you've always called yourself a genius prosecutor, haven't you? Didn't I explain to you this morning why you were a genius up until now? That's right. It was all because of me. Because of my authority. You were always being protected by people like Courtney and me. Ugh. Poor guy. Now get that stinking face of yours out of my sight. Stinking? You know, now that I think about it, that stench might just suit you perfectly. Just keep it away from my nose, or my eyes will start watering. Oh, he ain't taking it. Wrong. You're wrong, Pops. Sebastian? What are you talking about? You're the one who stinks, Pops. It's you, not me. What? You haven't noticed, have you? You smell... Oh, really? You smell, Pops? So much that you can't even hide it. Mr. Edgeworth, try smelling the handprint on the newspaper. The smell? It smells like oil. I know something that smells just like it. Come to think of it, back then... It smells like motor oil. Maintaining that motorcycle must be Blaze's hobby. That's right, the smell proves it. It proves that the culprit who hid the evidence was... It's no good. I guess I can't become the best, after all. I'm too soft. I could never be so heartless. Huh. I can't bring down my father with my own hands. Prosecutor the best. Oh hell. Summon your courage. Become a different prosecutor from your father. Wasn't that what you decided? We are prosecutors, and as prosecutors we stand in the courtrooms. In that case, isn't our duty to shed light on the truth? Exposing crimes and bringing criminals to justice. Even if the criminal is your own father. That is your duty as a prosecutor. Yay! Have we put him on the right path? Didn't I promise you? That if you have the courage to stand up, I will show you the way. If you cannot do it alone, then we shall do it together. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. Hey! Allow me to present the evidence that connects this handprint with my father. Yeah! Very nice. This is the smell of motor oil. The kind used for maintaining motorcycles. Both myself and Mr. Edgeworth have smelled this exact same smell before. Blaze the best. It was in your garage. And wouldn't you say these fingerprints have a rather peculiar shape? The 5 letters that spelled out death. It's exactly the same as your old gloves. You can buy gloves like that from anywhere. It doesn't prove a thing. One of them does. Is that really the case? That's not the only thing that these two pieces of evidence have in common. The fingerprint on the newspaper that was used to wrap up the bell. And Blaze's mechanic's gloves. This is the unmistakable similarity they both share. The A button. Whoop. If you examine the imprint left by the letter A, you'll see it's unmistakable, or unmistakably from this glove. What? And that's not all. There is one more item we must take note of, namely these dirt stains. I suggest we do a comparative analysis of the dirt stains from the newspaper and the glove. If the contents match up, then it will prove the decisive evidence, or to be decisive evidence. Bailiff, please have these dirt samples sent to forensics for analysis immediately. Edgeworth, Sebastian! You lowly prosecutors! Do you have any idea who I am? A criminal. Pops, you can't run away anymore. It's been proven in court that you concealed the evidence, and that you tried to cover for the defendant. You're saying that I'm guilty? That I'll be sent to prison? Me, Blaze the best? A couple of snot-nosed punks are gonna make me disappear? There must be some mistake. Be a man and admit your crimes. Do you really think you can survive if I'm not around? I'll be fine now. I thought I wanted to become the best prosecutor so I could get your approval, Pops. But when I was kidnapped by your men and stuck in that dark room, I started thinking, I am truly powerless. I despaired and averted my eyes from the truth. But someone else showed me the way. At that moment, Mr. Edgeworth stepped in and showed me the way. And now, I am no longer just a child chasing after his father's approval. I've become capable. I can find evidence all on my own now. What? My men kidnapped you? Why were you? Pops, I'll show you the truth you never knew, through this trial. How dare you speak to me like that? You should have just stayed as an idiot son. You may have hated me to the very end, Pops. But I've always looked up to you. Damn. This is just like Sebastian's character development arc. Thank you for everything and up until now, and goodbye. Since when did all you've ever been able to do was depend on me? Oh man. Sebastian! As he lost his beard again. And all his hair. Well? Huh. Alright. It has been established that the evidence was concealed by Blaze the Best himself. A judgment regarding his concealment of evidence shall be delivered at a separate trial. The missing chisel and knife still have yet to be found. However, once a search of the waste disposal site is underway, they will surely be discovered. The knife will be found? What will happen to me if it's found? Heh, no need to worry. You'll simply receive the punishment you deserve for your crime. Punishment? For me? Blaze, what in the world were you doing? You... That's all you're boasting about being able to create your own truths and not guilty verdicts. That's why I contacted you immediately after the prison incident in the first place. And to make matters worse, you even kidnapped the wrong kid. I just can't believe this. You really, really, really are completely useless. That was certainly a violent outburst. But you heard her, Prosecutor the Best. Yeah, she got flustered and said a bunch of important stuff. Right? Indeed, that's correct. He still doesn't seem very sure of himself. Very well, with that, this court is adjourned. Oh! That was Lang. What? Huh? Who are you? I'm Langsy, bitches. I do like his theme. Judge Courtney, it's still too early for a happy ending. Langsy says the end of the trial is not always the end of the case. And who might you be? Shifu. The name's Shilong Lang. You're just a humble... I called him Langsy, didn't I? I think I did. Whatever. I'm just a humble lone investigator. Do you have some objection with this trial? Huh, not a chance. The defendant there has a heart as black as a moonless night. Lang? Don't tell me you're... the one from 12 years ago. You got it. Ain't this nice? Now you're finally going to prison, where you belong. 12 years is a long time, coming for a suspended sentence. Don't you agree? Agent Lang, what are you talking about? The SS fucked me as always. The SS5 incident from 12 years ago is a case I'll never forget. 12 years ago? Why do they always have these incidents and they're always from like over 10 years ago? What is... I don't get it, it's such a common theme. Well, a lot has changed, it all happened over 12 years ago. Back then, he and my father were close friends, and our clan protected the president's life. But then, he suddenly changed. It's as if he became an entirely different person. Maybe he's being threatened. Nowadays... pardon me. Nowadays, he doesn't even have a shred of faith in the police force of Zhengfa. 12 years ago. I wonder what happened on them. On them? Oh, I can't read. I wonder what went on them. Might it have something to do with Lang's father and President Huang? Patricia Rowland. and you blazed the best. Back then, the two of you killed off the Lang clan. Oh! Were you involved in the incident 12 years ago? That's right, I was. However, I'm not here to chase after the ghosts of the past. I'm here for you, Justine Courtney. Me? Oh yeah, he thinks she's the one that did it. You and one other. Oh. John! Miss Courtney, you're coming along too. There's a suspect... I can't read. There's a suspect in the murder of the president of Zhengfa, Di Yong Huang. Agent Lang, what evidence do you... Settle down, Mr. Prosecutor. The investigation has only just begun. We're going to inspect the crime scene with the suspects in attendance. Agent Lang, did he get his hands on some new piece of evidence? If you have any objections, then you can tag along as well. I shall do just that. Alright. The end of the trial is not always the end of the case. There are still many mysteries yet unsolved surrounding the murder of the president. Namely, the true nature of the giant monster, and... who killed him? Oh yeah, and the kidnapper. And come and get me, I'll be looking forward to it. That is, if you can bring me to justice. But I highly doubt that. Yeah, the true identity of the person on the other end of the phone. Oh boy. We continue. Ugh, shitbags. That was a fuck ton longer than I thought it would be. It took 2 hours and 45 minutes, so 160 minutes to get through. Oh, my god, ridiculous. It's looking like all of them, like every chapter, if you can call them chapters, is gonna go on for this long. For like the rest? Maybe not. Middle part 2 doesn't seem like it'll take all that long. So next session might just be two chapters. This one took such a fucking long time though. Although how big? Yeah. I mean, if you look at the sidebar for it, it's huge. Anyway, getting distracted. Guess save. Either way, middle part 1 is what we're on now. Nice. Yeah, either way. That is going to be the end of this session. Thank you so much for watching. I keep clicking away. Crap. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed. And until next time, take care.